what you want actually differs in different kinds of use cases. And this is the second and last sort of that people sometimes have about crowd testing. It's not one kind of test for one kind of customer. There's actually 4 different types of tests that we specialize in. One is what we call a rapid test. It's kind of self-explanatory. Results come back really fast, and we're only showing you the most critical things or the most obviously bad things. And these are often used in a couple of different use cases, one of which is maybe surprising to you. The first and least surprising is it's kind of a sanity test that you can do before you merge in a piece of code after a pull request that says, okay, I passed all its automated tests, I looked at it, I got some other eyes on it too, and it's fine. But the second one is actually kind of interesting. We have a number of customers who push their code to production. It's part of their pipeline to just push, and they want the first people to see it, sometimes pinned behind a feature flag, to be our testers. And why our testers? Because our testers are going to give you really good bug reports with screenshots and explicit steps to reproduce. If your customer saw it, it wouldn't be quite so clean. So this rapid test is often something that's actually done in production. Second type of test is this coverage test, and that's where we're maximizing for device diversity. And this is particularly important in a couple areas. One is companies like You.i TV or like a Headspace that is doing a global rollout, and so they don't want to have their customers in the developing world exposed necessarily to an app that's only been tested on an iPhone 10 or whatever the developers have around the shop. A second really important use case for this is e-commerce purchase flows. You'd be shocked at how many times things like the purchase button is obscured in a form factor that you didn't see. Fernando alluded to a focus test. That's a test that is the sort of shakeout of I've got this new product or new feature and I want to make sure I know everything that is going on there. And so in that case, what we will do is we will kind of turn the bug spigot open and maybe give you more bugs than we might in one of these other tests, because you'll want to make sure that there's not some unforeseen consequence. And finally, we can also optimize tests, as Fernando alluded, for usability feedback. You can think of it as kind of a hallway test, but with more people and with a little bit more demographic profiling than you can get in a typical development team's hallway. So that's kind of the breakdown of the tests that TestIO offers and the use cases that we find for them. You can also do a sort of custom test that allows you to set all the variables. But I thought that this would be helpful in sort of breaking down this concept of crowd testing as, okay, well, it's just a lot of people hitting the app, to something that's a little bit more specific and approachable in your everyday life.